going to try to play spoiler against Shy Guy fans. So that's going to be an interesting set on the side of Group B. Speaking of which, we're going to be sticking to Group B. We have Healthy Diet Food Groups versus Zipcat heading your way next.
Yeah, both of these teams are terrific. Now, they have not had much fortune today, but that's not to say that these aren't obviously great teams and that they don't belong here. Healthy Diet Food Groups was in a 5-game set against Moonlight, couldn't quite pull it off. These are teams that are still known and loved here, but unfortunately, neither of them has a win today, so we are going to be seeing who's going to walk away with a win and who's unfortunately going to be going home 0-5.
Right, and that is a match in and of itself, because it is, obviously, you do want to give credit to all the teams that are showing up. Being top 12 in the SendouQ leaderboard is no easy task, but when you're looking at it, two teams going 0-4, you do want to, it is a matter of, okay, let's at least see what else we can take from this tournament. We've gotten this far. We're at the end of the group stage. We're pretty sure this is going to be our last match, pending some craziness that will happen because it is Splatoon. Oh well. But other than that, this is likely your last match. We're just going to see what else we can take from this. We're going to see what we can bring to round 5.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, where these two teams' mentals at. Obviously, these are still top players, but you wonder, are they in send it mode, or are they in, hey, let's go out in a good note mode? And I would think that both of these teams are the latter, just from what I know about them. But Healthy Diet Food Groups, one of the fan favorites here. They've got a pretty big roster, but I'm in particular looking at one of my favorite shooter players, Ziff. Is going to be my person to watch throughout this set. Any eyes that you have on anybody on these rosters here, Nito?
If I were to look immediately, I'd say Zipcat. This is a relatively new team, much newer than the Healthy Diet Food Group. So a lot of names I've seen in the past. Obviously, LA is one I've seen. Eli, yeah, thought Zip that we were looking at. So most notably, and that's the name that comes out to me first, but Zipcat is going to be a team that I look out for just because of how new they are as we start this game.
Oh yeah, and I love that we're going slightly off meta too with Healthy Diet Food Groups. Pretty cool comp there with the Carbon Junior Bamboo. It's going to be interesting to watch in zones as well, and it's working out well for them so far as they're getting the early lead, the early advantage. Now it's up to Zipcat to try and break back in.
I always like the comps Healthy Diet Food Groups bring out. I mean, just look at what they've got. And it's working out pretty well for them. Jelly Roll, who I thought was a singer, is now a Splatoon player as well, gets a pick with that junior. So great job from them. I do like the big bubble that this junior has. And honestly, it's still one of my favorite support picks. I'm glad to see it getting some use here, as Healthy Diet Food Groups are locking out very exceptionally well here. Going to back up for the Zuka. The 3 players on the right side of their screen, that could be easy pickings there, but they do have to back up just a little bit more, avoid some extra pressure. Healthy Diet Food Groups, though, still holding on, especially getting that decap pick. That is excellent.
Oh, I love that from Walnut. I mean, that kind of secured the game right there because it forced everybody to stop. It painted that whole bubble orange. And oh my gosh, 1 point meme. Is Zipcat about to come through and grab this other zone and try and make this a game? We see every member there kind of collapse in mid versus the orange on the other side. They do get the flip. Helped by Sub's Crab there, and slapping a massive 75-point penalty on Healthy Diet Food Groups. Nito, we got a game.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we definitely have a game, and it's not any question. I kind of saw that. What I did see is that Carbon coming out to the side, challenging the Zipcat side zone. I almost wanted to see if that just taking eyes off the zone would have enabled Zipcat to close out this set, but would have enabled Healthy Diet Food Groups to close out this set, but Zipcat able to hold themselves out strong there. Now that they have the lead, they have a triple down. They have a 3-down situation as well, actually, for Healthy Diet Food Group. Zipcat holding on to this so far. So good here. This could be another lockout, but I see players all over the map for both teams. It is truly one of the matches ever so far, but it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, what the heck? I mean, this one is making you dizzy a little bit with Pineapple kind of working around in the opposing backfield there. That Booyah is going to give numbers to Healthy Diet Food Groups, who is kind of swarming in here. Nam kind of caught along the side there, isolated. Jelly Roll with the bubble is going to get picked, unfortunately. That massive penalty is still going to be grinding down It's on Zipcat, though, to try and continue to score points here, trying to force Rice Ball back. Now, Nito, do you think they're going to do it, or do you think this is just a matter of time before that final point ticks down for Healthy Dive?
I mean, I don't know. Zipcat was able to do pretty well on that retake, just making sure they didn't divide their attention enough. And that's what Healthy Diet Food Groups is trying to do. Obviously, it has to be with how they've positioned their players. So I'm assuming that Zipcat will take it back, and they do. Zipcat is doing fairly well here, trying to maintain eyes on the objective, despite what Healthy Diet Food Groups is able to bring out and has been bringing out more often than not. So Zipcat, it's only going to be a matter of how well they can hold down the zone and the area in front of it when they have control. When you go 2 players down like that, maybe not too well.
Yeah, and I like this bubble coming out here is probably going to be popped along this right-hand side. Unfortunately, going down immediately, but Rice Ball getting a nice double up front is going to hopefully let HDFG kind of retake that other zone here. Not going for it at the time, instead trying to go for these jumps. Rice Ball getting picked in the backfield, though. It does not hurt them, though, because they are able to slap more of a penalty on Zipcat. Oh!
Okay, all right. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's just some sneakiness going on everywhere. I could look away from the screen and I'm going to see the carbon from HDFG all the way in a different time zone. So who really knows? But Zipcat is the team to watch out for right now because they've got 2 players down on Healthy Diet Food Groups. Nothing that they have right now is going to be able to take this retake. Can Super Chumps be the answer? Quite possibly. That pick is certainly going to help as well. I want to see what the Stamper does, rather, and see what they can do to try to get some attention away from that zone and try to even get a pick.
Zipcat here going to be moving forward for a nice trade. You like to see that. Getting another pick in the bubble, which turns out to be a trade. The Zuka, though, getting a pick against them instead, and with only 5 ticks left, Eli is going to have to scamper back. Nam getting picked as soon as they jump, and that's going to be HDFG maintaining the lead there with only 15 seconds to go. Now, they just have to hold this zone. They don't have to worry about this penalty timer, as they are able to force members of Zipcat back into the spawn. One does get by. Sub is another jump in is coming. Pineapple is instead going for the jump instead of the crab. It's not enough. HDFG will start this one out 1-0.
Oh, no. And that's what I like about Healthy Diet Food Groups, is that whatever you saw in that, especially the previous set, I talk about taking all the off angles. That carbon roller just isn't afraid to take that off angle if you give it to them. And they'll find off angles, even if you're not already giving it to them, if you're trying to shut everything down around them. So I like that for Healthy Diet Food Groups. I like it. It's always quirky kind of watching them play, but that's just how they operate. And most teams that they go up with aren't prepared for that, which is why you're seeing them at this higher level. So it's nice to see that it's still working out for them, especially right now. They've got 1 game off the board. They're going to look for this next one. Look to take this next one, which is going to be on Barnacle and Dime.
Yeah, I would agree with you. When it comes to what they are trying to do, nobody does it better than HDFG. They are able to kind of catch you by surprise with that comp here as we move into game number 2. But I want to give props to Zipcat, too. Now, we may forget because that ended up being such a drawn-out game, but HDFG started that out with a 99-point push, and then Zipcat fought that all the way back to 5 and almost ended up taking that game. So huge props to them for staying competitive despite how that opening went, and I'm excited to see these teams move on to Barnacle.
Right. That is a great statement. That is a good statement to make. I mean, there is a point where a 99-point KO looks so solid to where, I mean, I don't know. You just kind of think like when that carbon roller was starting to take eyes off Zipcat's players, I kind of thought, okay, surely that's enough to where we can probably get those 2 players that the carbon roller is gaining attention from. Maybe not. Zipcat able to hold things down there, and that's what I like. They focus on the objective, make sure they're not worrying too much about one player that might be off to the side. They are laser focused. I mean, this is Spot Zone, so you're always going to want to see more of that. So we're probably going to see more of that later on. I want to see how it manifests here in Barnacle. Not.
I'm actually curious to see. So, what does, I mean, focus is going to look different on each map based on where you need to look. And you could always just say, okay, you look at the zone. But that's not always the case. Like for Barnacle, I think you're looking to control these streets. You're looking to make sure nobody is kind of like swinging around the street while you're so focused on plat. So I'm curious to see if these teams can adjust and if Zipcat can kind of take that focus and bring it into game 2. I have no doubt that they will.
And by the way, that is a new roller coming out from Healthy Dive Fruit Groups. That is the one with Fizzy Bomb and Super Chump. That is an interesting pick there. No carbon roller for them, obviously. So I like the Fizzy Bomb pick, though. That allows them... I like Fizzy Bomb just because of how much range that comes with it. You did notice that Zipcat was holding them back at their own spawn fairly well there. They didn't have much with that burst bomb. They're going to have a lot more if they get to that scenario. If not, well, then you still have burst bomb. So I like that pick for them. Seems to be working out not so well for them. They did get picked off by that S-Blast, but still control the zone for them, funny enough. And that's a wipeout, actually.
Yeah, look at that. The Crab was able to kind of facilitate another teammate moving forwards and resulting in that double. And now you've got the Booyah ready. Everybody's juiced up for Zipcat. It's looking like they're going to get a lead flip, which is relatively easy this early in the game here. But I'm wondering where that Booyah is going to go. They're probably dissecting it, chatting about it with themselves. You've got the Crab coming out, forced to move back because of the chumps. This next pick is going to be so crucial to who's going to maintain control of this game. You see another set of chumps coming out from HDFG. Still not able to get the zone, though, as Rice Ball has a Booyah of their own, trying to work around the ledge. It looks like they were able to get plat without too much resistance there, but they still don't have the zone, Nito.
They do not. That is interesting. Zipcat, again, really focused on the zone, but it seems like their focus is also on not any particular part of the map, but just looking for where the stamper with this carbon, or not carbon, but the roller might be. Obviously also carbon, but where they are, because those are going to be what causes the most trouble for them. They noticed that in the last match, and noticing in this match as well. It seems to be counting down fairly well for them. Everything going smoothly so far. Will it stay smooth long enough? Yes, it will.
It most definitely will. Zipcat is able to tie up this set 1-1. Now, we've said before that all these teams are top level. They know it. These are great players, great teams who know what they're doing. But when you're in a tournament like this and you're 0-4, you can start to think, man, I mean, this sucks. This is not a very fun day. Let's give a huge shout out to Zipcat. They, prior to this, were not able to win a game, but they brought one home today. Zipcat, you guys rock. You guys are all-stars. I love seeing you guys break that, coming out of here with a game win, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the set develops.
Yeah, the good news about Sendou is that there will always be next season, and I want to see what Zipcat is. I mean, this is a team that's still new in their formation. I mean, there's still a lot of things that need to be eked out. Even in any time you join a newer team, there's still a lot of things you need to be figuring out about what the rest of the team plays, what the rest of the team plays like, and there's a lot of things that need to be figured out. Zipcat, on their making it to the final in their first season, is already pretty big. So I want to see what else they bring out to this next season. A lot to look out for them, and a lot to look out for them now as we head towards Urchin Underpass somewhere in heaven.
You must be mistaken, Nito, because I'm seeing towerless Moray Towers for Game 3.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we already talked about Cloud meta, Lightning Bolt meta, all the things that are important here. But if we were to pretend that this was instead Urchin Underpass, what would you say is the key to winning on this stage?
Honestly, none of these people play Beacon, but I want to see a Beacon anyway, just because of how they play. I think you have a Beacon, just like send it down the sides, see what happens. Just like we saw in the last time we had teams on Urchin Underpass. But if you want to talk about more realistic, more like what these teams do play, I would say just making sure you're holding down that one spot in front of zone. I don't know the call out for it yet, but I know that spot is very important, and I know that for Zipcat, it's going to be very important that they do hold it if they ever get zone, because of how much Healthy Dive Fruit Groups is going to try to mess with them.
All right, we are seeing a brush coming out from Nam Nam. I like this change. I think the hammer is going to give them some added aggression, some added element of surprise here, Nito, as we head into a pivotal game 3.
All right, I want to keep an eye on that brush, because anytime I play a brush, competitive solo queue or otherwise, it's like, okay, you're just going to swim around like it's nothing. Except when you get taken out with a bomb like that. That might stop you in your tracks. But Jelly Roll doing an excellent job with this bomb. Has some assists, some help here from another member of Healthy Diet Food Groups. Excellent job there. Look how far Rice Ball is. Oh my goodness, we didn't even notice how far Rice Ball was. And now they have Pineapple with him as well. That is crazy. Now they have that S-Blast. There's 2 people on him. It would be crazy if they don't walk away with a pick. Now it's looking good for Zipcat. If you're Ellie with the pencil, you don't notice that Batana coming towards you. You have the zone. You have Cooler on zone. You just don't think much of it. You do at least have that blaster on him. And it'd be crazy that blaster to get with the pick they do. But my goodness, a lot that could be done there. And it was scary for Zipcat, especially since none of them really pay attention to it. But maybe there's a call out from the blaster that just said, all right, I'll take care of it. Don't worry, go forward.
Yeah, and it certainly paid off for them because of all the control they have on mid, and the blaster was obviously able to clear that up. So now we have the hammer at the ready for Nom Nom, and nice little numbers advantage by picking the bamboo up front, but the zone does go orange. Nom Nom is able to get the junior, is now fighting with Rice Ball here, trying to see if they can get the pick. They do get the hammer snipe, which is going to give control back to Zipcat. They're slowed down a little bit by this penalty that the junior put on, but overall, I mean, looking real solid in this game, Nita.
Oh, absolutely. Now, this is the part that's going to be important for Zipcat. Healthy Diet Food Groups is going to do some wacky stuff to try to get your attention away. Zipcat, you just need to hold on this one spot and hold on for dear life, because that's going to be the key to you KOing this set. The question is, will they do it? We're going to find out pretty soon, especially since Rice Ball is going to attempt something similar to what they've done earlier. It's just Eli there, right next to the zone. That's the only person that could stop them right now. Rice Ball has a clean shot there, has one, has two. Can they have this X jump? Yes, they do. It's just sub, and they go down as well, courtesy of other members of Healthy Diet Food Groups. That's what you want to watch out for, and perhaps it's not in that one zone in particular, but that's what Zipcat wants to watch out for.
I'm getting memories of Splatoon 1 on maps where you could actually sort of flank, and Rice Ball is certainly enjoying that as we're digging into the penalty here for HDFG, was able to get the zone back. Sub here is trying to work against this Booyah. Unfortunately, the Crab is going to be taken out as Rice Ball, again, working on this right-hand side, looking for their opportunity to break in, but they're spied here by the pencil. Is going to have to dip here. Their team is going to maintain zone in spite of that. Oh my gosh, a pick on Zipcat is going to extend this. Sub kind of caught alone there, and now 2 down. This is a crucial hammer to try and flip, but no, the hammer will go down, traded back out, but it doesn't matter because HDFG is about to get a knockout unless the pencil can say anything about it. I don't think they will. Farouk not able to flip the zone by themselves, and HDFG is going to take a 2-1 lead in this set.
Whether they intended to or not, Zipcat was trying something similar to what Healthy Diet Food Groups was doing. Just like, we'll send a skirmisher or some type of weapon, really any weapon, over to their side and see what happens. And if they take their attention off them and take it on us, well, we'll win some fights. And if not, oops. Again, intentional or not, you did try that. Didn't work out too well for them at the end there. Healthy Diet Food Groups able to put together the KO there. That being said, Zipcat's starting to pick up I hope they're starting to pick up a little bit more on what HDFG is doing, especially with this Platana and with the roller from their side, because that's going to be crucial for this next match. Healthy Diet Food Groups is already on match point, but with Lemuria Hub, just looking at it alone, playing it alone, there's like a million different ways your opponents can come in from.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, this one was Zipcat's selection. So when somebody's picking a kooky map like Lemuria, you know that they probably have a plan for it. So if I were HDFG, I'd be thinking, man, this set ain't over yet, because who knows what this team is going to pull out. They had Nom Nom switch to the brush. They could do some other cop stuff that we are not familiar with. I'm excited to see what Zipcat does here, especially as a team that, as we've said, is kind of newer to this upper echelon of play. Do they crumble here down 2-1, or do they make this one interesting and send us to a Game 5?
It's going to be a question that we have answered from both of these teams for sure. Out of all the questions, that's going to have an answer too. We have a charcoal decap coming out from Zipcat. Interesting pick there. I do like the Jet, at least trying to maintain some distance while maintaining that skirmishiness with that weapon. But Zipcat not making many major changes. That's going to be the super chump roller coming out yet again. They are the first to go down in this set. Zipcat gets first dibs, so does Healthy Diet Food Groups. They get the first double here.
Yeah, Rice Ball is especially effective at trying to shut down these crabs, whether it's Booyah or whether it's with their main weapon, as Farouk is going to be trying to work on that member of HDFG. Jelly Roll, instead living here, is now doing battle with the Wiper, with that charcoal decap that we were talking about earlier. A minor control here of this two-zone stage for HDFG, not able to quite get it back until now with the help of those jumps. But you've got the Jetpack coming out on the other side, Nito. Do you like Jetpack here? Is it the right pick for Zipcat?
I think it could be. I mean, you do at least have a backup, so whenever, because what I think Zipcat's trying to do is look out for these off-angle attacks from healthy diet food groups. So you're probably thinking that with this jet, what you're going to do is at least offer yourself some distance and offer a much different threat to healthy diet food groups. But with that being said, it looks like you're not going to be able to get much use out of it, especially when you keep finding yourselves going down. Healthy diet food groups are trading the zone maybe a little more often than we've seen in the previous sets, but make no mistake, they're still holding on to it very well this time.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how this Carbon is going to position too, because they're being relatively conservative here in the early going, but you'd want to hope that they get up on these ledges relatively soon. That's not going to happen though with Nom Nom coming out with this Jetpack. Trying to find a pick here is mostly just warding people away, but the splash will go down off your screen. Jelly Roll here now trying to just maintain the pain of the zone, and a nice numbers advantage for HDFG as the chumps come out. That's going to be a lead flip. A big fight here against Farouk, who's looking to try and make something happen, but no, is not able to. Didn't quite have the paint, Nito, and I think that's been a consistent problem we're seeing for Zipcat in this game.
Not only that, you're trying to go straight down towards the middle, and I think with Farouk, you have to be taking more of those off angles. It's not something you can afford to do, especially against healthy diet food groups who know the off angle much more well, it seems, at least from what we've seen throughout the course of this match. But what they also know has been holding the lead so far, and that's something you're going to be doing once again. They got control of the zone here. Farouk has the only... No, that was also cooler there. So 2 specials ready for Zipcat to try to retake this, but they don't have much to retake it with too. So maybe that's why they're playing a little more hesitant. And that's why Farouk is trying to get another pick on his roller. Doesn't quite get it, but there's someone else to follow up with. And that's why you want that follow-up. Because they want to see Rice Ball though. Nobody sees Rice Ball. We do have a clash of those Splatonas there, but Zipcat takes control of the zone yet again.
Yeah, I like that play. We see a lot of sharking happening from HDFG, but if you're able to just try and focus a little bit more on paint, focus on the zones that they like to live in, you're going to be able to get them, right? Pineapple's able to get one, but is going to get stuffed there by Sub up front. And now with no penalty points, you're looking to win one fight and take that lead back and hopefully do more. Sub is far away from a crab for now, but it's just trying to do some chip damage up front. They do lose the zone. This Booyah is going to try and help HDFG get in. Oh my gosh, no! The decap is going to go down. Farouk is found out and is forced to jump out. And if HDFG can take advantage of it, this could be a nice little space flip. Look at them grinding forward into mid. This is just what I'd want to see from them to try and prevent this lead flip.
I like this bamboo positioning. One in the bottom of your, what was the bottom of your screen there, taking so many aggressive angles there. I love what I'm seeing from that bamboo. Healthy diet food groups finding everything here to try to slow down Zipcat. Now that Zipcat is starting to get themselves, they're still maintaining themselves within striking distance, no matter how hard they might find it to get past healthy diet food groups. Regardless, Zipcat's still trying to find some ways in. Walnut in a bit of trouble. Rice Ball in a bit of trouble as well. They do jump out though. They keep themselves alive for just a little longer, but they do have one player going down. Look at this positioning that healthy diet food groups have. This is a pincer waiting to happen, but that Junior is in trouble, so you won't see it just yet. But that is what's most dangerous about healthy diet food groups, seeing 1 or 2 players on either side at any point during this match.
I don't think they see Rice Ball here. Otherwise, they probably would have made a move to get them. They see them a little too late as Farouk will go down. Rice Ball is going to get traded back out there. Now, you've got to flip this zone back because you've only got 30 seconds, and HDFG is dangerously close to a knockout here. Is going to get the zone back. Oh my gosh, this is your last chance for Zipcat. They've got to focus on the zone, but you've just got Farouk in the pencil up front. You see Sub jumping in. Sub, no! You've got to have eyes in the zone there, and HDFG is going to get a nice 3-1 set win. Congratulations.
Welcome to the win column, healthy diet food groups. You've proven that you still got what it takes to hang out with the big guns you're in. That is what I like for healthy diet food groups. They're showing that whatever they've been coming up with and whatever kind of play style they like to show up, because I don't even know if there's a name for this yet, but regardless, they're coming in here showing like, all right, doesn't matter. We're 0-4, it doesn't matter. We're still going to try what we've been doing. We're going to go stick to our bread and butter. we're still going to see if it works, and it does end up working out here. That being said, Zipcat, once again, lots of kudos to him, lots of credit to him. They are still the team to watch out for, a team I would like to watch out for next season, just because of how far they have been able to make it